So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aynsley Peet. I'm Head of Growth at the Pixel, and I'm delighted to be joined today on stage by Rob and Catherine from RM's Consortium. So today's talk is around driving digital transformation with RM's Consortium and the Pixel. So the agenda for today is we'll be giving an introduction to both businesses, so introduction to the Pixel and RM's Consortium. Then we'll be giving a project overview, so the scale of the digital transformation, what the project involved, then the discovery, so how we undertook the discovery with the Pixel working very closely with RM's Consortium. Then kind of the early kind of steps, what we kind of identified really is for foundations for success, so what we were looking to achieve for the project. And then kind of we then look at the solution, so what the solution involved and how we kind of worked and the solution evolved. Then we'll summarize the project really with the summary and achievements and the key takeaways. So a bit about the Pixel. So the Pixel, we're an e-commerce agency. We've been around since 2001. We primarily focus on Adobe Commerce, but we also work very closely with Adobe Analytics, Adobe Target, and kind of other CRO specializing tools. We have a good knowledge of the kind of Adobe Magento ecosystem, modules, and the modular approach. So what we're looking to achieve really with all of our customers really is a digital experience specializing in content, commerce, and growth. As a business, really, we're very much a client-centric business. A lot of our staff have come from retailers. Myself, I was working 20 years for a retailer across a number of businesses. So we have key members of staff who've come from a retail background, so they really understand what customers are looking for, and obviously we can help liaise with the retailers that we work with. Kind of a strong play of what we do at the Pixel really is we see ourselves as one team. So hopefully during today's presentation we can get across to you, everyone who's in the audience, that what we see is a one-team approach working really well. So the Pixel working very closely with RM's Consortium, but also at times with Adobe Commerce or with third-party providers. So that's crucial for us. So expert experience. So we're really, with our kind of over almost like knowledge across the teams, we have good experience of Adobe development, CRO, initiatives, UX, and design. And finally, what we're looking for really on all of our project really is always pushing the boundaries of success. So it doesn't stop in terms of once the website is live, we're always looking to evolve, always looking to drive CRO initiatives, and always pushing the boundaries. So we're always looking for further success. So I'm now going to hand over for Rob, who's going to go through an introduction to the consortium.
Thanks, Aynsley. Yes, at RM we've got two brands. We work in the education supplies sector. So we put all the consumables and all learning resources into schools. We have 30,000 schools and nurseries and academies on our customer list, product range of around about 30,000 SKUs in our catalogue. Our Consortium brand was, we worked with Pixel for a number of years prior to our digital transformation on our Magento 1 platform. And when that became end of life, along with our ERP and our PIM system, we decided to work with the Pixel, mainly because, as Aynsley said, the experience and the knowledge within the Pixel really helped us to get onto that digital transformation journey. And when we were assessing how we go on that program, it was an important factor for us to maintain that knowledge. So our digital transformation program started, ironically, 4 weeks before COVID kicked off. And it lasted 2.5 years, and it was a complete transformation of all of our key systems. So our ERP system, our PIM system, our e-commerce platform. But we also moved 4 warehouses into a fully automated brand new warehouse facility as well, swapping in WMS systems, automation into our racking. So it was a huge, complex program of work over 2 years. And success, we launched this in March, and it was a great success actually. But it was very hard work, and it was hard because of the complexity and the dependencies between each of these systems. As you can imagine, the integrations between our 3 core systems that we've picked up here. Dynamics, we use 3 elements of Dynamics: finance and operations, customer engagement, but also advanced warehousing. There are other tools that we use in our journey. So our warehouse automation supplier is a company called Swisslog, or a package called Swisslog. And there are a number of ISVs that you probably see around here where we've piggybacked their functionality on top of the Adobe Commerce, so the likes of recommendations engines, reviews engines, etc. I'll hand back to Aynsley, who'll tell how the process that we went through.
So one of the first steps of the process really is to kind of, for the Pixel to engage very closely with RM Consortium's teams around workshops really. So scoping out the project really. So as you know, all of the projects we work on, kind of whether it be a re-platform or kind of a migration, upgrades, new pieces of UX, we're looking to hold detailed discovery phases. And kind of with this detailed discovery, we're looking at the design, the build process, and just trying to plan a structure in terms of the timelines of when each stage of the process will be going live. So by running a series of workshops really, we're often looking to challenge preconceptions. And we're trying to find a unique and robust solution that will enable us to kind of drive RM Consortium and our other retailers to the forefront of their sector. So really at this element, we're really looking to kind of solutionize, document all the integrations, the business processes, so for the Pixel and the Consortium to understand, you know, at what point we'll be doing what stages of the process. And probably the key two for me really are to understand really the previous platforms and existing platforms. So for us, what worked well, what didn't work well, what can we bring forward, what do we need to be improving? So that's a real key challenge that we need to face. But probably the biggest one really is understanding customer feedback and obviously understanding customer journey. So we're looking to do this as we start with discovery and kind of as we're kind of finalizing kind of the build, but equally, you know, once the website is live, we're always looking to understand customer feedback and kind of customer journey. So we can use tools such as Hotjar, Content Square, we're very much kind of platform agnostic. It's also very useful really to understand kind of customer feedback, so customer surveys, engaging with customers at the kind of the touch points of the project. So for me, the two key takeaways of this slide really are understand your kind of previous learnings, what works well, what we need to improve, and obviously then to understand the customer feedback and customer journey, so the customer is always at the forefront of the website build. So from the kind of the discovery, we're then working on a high level scope. So one of the high level scope really for this project really was to kind of use the existing functionality and the kind of the remit of Adobe Commerce. So we're not looking to try and reinvent the wheel, we're just trying to use the key features of Adobe Commerce. So that makes it much easier really in terms of kind of upgrades, future developments, so you're not having kind of heavily customized code. So that's very crucial. Then really just looking to improve customer experiences, and that could be by presenting better product information, product availability, we find that's always crucial. So customers are always wanting to understand product availability, product stock, and obviously ordering options. So these are the key kind of essences really of user journeys, kind of product availability and ordering options, and it's an area we always look to kind of understand and test over time. And then really the final step really was improving internal processes. So we're looking to drive efficiencies, start to introduce UX, design improvements, and then with this objective really we're looking to always deliver a better user journey through the site. I'm now going to hand back over to Rob to talk through the customer model.
So as Aynsley discussed during the discovery phase, we broke down the project into a number of themes that we could look in and run those workshops with. So we were looking at all the complex integrations that we needed to do, stock availability, merchandising, ISVs. But one of the key ones for us really was trying to understand our customer model. Within the education sector, our customer base was quite complex because not only we're dealing with small single unit schools, but we're also dealing with B2C customers, fairly complex multi-user schools where we've got people in different departments and within administration, purchasing or going through the purchasing process. And all the way up to really complex academies where there's often 200, 300 schools or chains operating within a single business. And within that you have centralized procurement, so customers will be placing orders, and it was really placing orders for workflow and for approval before they get placed into our ERP system. And it was really important that we got our customer model right to support that. Not only did we want to piggyback onto the customer model to deliver that functionality, but we had to use that migration from Magento 1 so that we can get our customer data into our new system. And the amount of time we spent on this was absolutely critical to the success of the project. And the way we did that was obviously we broke our key personas down and looked at how our key our key personas operate. From simple B2C, just paying with credit cards, to offline, to schools with 2 payment options of paying on account and by card. Over on the left-hand side is where our real complexity lies. So we built a workflow process on the back of the Adobe Commerce roles and teams, and that allowed either two ways of approving orders. So a teacher can select their products, but they can then submit that to somebody in administration who can then approve that before it goes into our ERP system.
So we're now going to look at the kind of the solution overview. So the key exercise really was to solutionize the implementation. So what we're trying to do here really is make the kind of the website and the build performance effective. And performance effective can mean numerous things really. So performance effective is kind of server efficiencies, page speeds, load times, kind of the technical elements of a website build. But also, performance effective in terms of user journeys and user experience really. So can a customer quickly utilize the site search, find products, add to basket, and make a frictionless kind of user journey and a frictionless checkout. So that's a key step. Then really what we're trying to do is kind of marry the best of Adobe Commerce B2B features. But for this project as well, we also need to understand that some customers may be B2C. So the majority of the customers are B2B, but certain elements will be B2C. So what we're trying to do here is stick to core Adobe Commerce features, not customize the site too heavily, so we're always in a position really that we have code that we can bring forward and code that we can always add on to. So what we're then looking to do really is kind of facilitate new functionalities on top of that really. So we'll be building in complex workflows, order management, and approval processes, which will kind of Rob will be discussing or has discussed.
Another one of our complex features that we delivered as part of the program was e-procurement. E-procurement is schools use their own financial management systems to place their orders, so to raise purchase orders and to get invoices. What we built on top of Adobe Commerce was a system that integrates with a number of financial management systems and a number of marketplace procurement systems. And there's 2 entry points to that. What we started with was person goes onto the site, they build their basket, and they download their basket into their own financial management system or procurement system. Then, in an offline way, they will approve that order, and that order will then get pushed back into the Adobe Commerce platform and into our ERP. The second method for e-procurement is where the basket is created offline in those procurement systems and then pushed into our system. And working with the Pixel, we've built a standard integration model to allow us to extend that and build and add more FMS systems into our capability. Currently, we've got 2 FMS systems that we're integrated with and 5 procurement systems, and we're always looking to grow that. And it's really important to our customer base because they need that control over their spend. Our B2C customers, like any B2C customer, will just place an order, check out, pay with credit card. But when you're working in government control, you need to have that control of your finances. And our e-procurement system that was built with the Pixel supplies that. And yeah, our finance management system, we work with other partners outside of the Pixel to build in the punch-out functionality that we've got there. I'll hand over to Catherine, who will build on some other functionality that we built.
So I'm going to talk a bit about our registration journey. So it's one of the key areas of this site that we wanted to improve. All of the site was redesigned from both the front end and back end point of view, but the registration was really key for us, and it changed quite a bit from our previous site. So as I say, it was totally redesigned from a functional and user interface perspective. Before, our website only catered for B2B customers, but now our new site caters for both B2B and B2C, so we needed to make sure our registration was a one-page registration process that fit both types of customers. We wanted to make sure that the manual input that the customers had was reduced, so we integrated address finders so there was auto completes for the customer, and integrated with email verification tools and postcode and address tools as well. We also had an advanced address matching algorithm that we linked into our own CRM database. This would also determine whether the customer was more likely to be a B2B or a B2C customer. There's also different prices for the different customers as well, because we tailor to schools and nurseries, which are part of different councils. They often have different prices, so we needed to integrate into our different local authority information to bring back different prices for the different customers, so that when they logged in, they'd see their own price that they would be agreed to. So why we did this? By integrating our registration journey into the CRM database, we're able to personalise the customer experience more. So we're able to see things like, is the school a primary school or a secondary school? What type of role might they be? How many pupils within their school, and what local authority do they belong to? And by doing this, we're able to tailor their customer journey online better. The registration journey also allowed for a fully automated customer setup, because we've got quite a complex customers, different types, schools, large academies. This meant that now we could fully automate the setup, whereas previously on the old website there was a lot of manual intervention from, say, our customer service teams. And also we brought greater efficiency, so the amount of B2B scripts that ran, we dramatically reduced from the old site to the new, and the details that the B2C customers had to input had dramatically been reduced as well. So the barriers to conversion that we overcame by the new registration is that we had instant B2B orders. Previously, we'd have to wait for a school to be approved by an existing organisation we knew about. Now we let them automatically check out on their credit card. We've got full automation of the registration process, and now we can allow B2C customers, whereas we didn't before. This is just some of the customer feedback that we've had since the website's gone live, so I'll read a few of these out. So a procurement manager said it was just so easy to navigate throughout the site. Pages loaded quickly and found everything quickly, and VAT was shown, so VAT is obviously quite important to our B2B customer. And everything's straightforward to ordering, to payment, through to invoice, and that was from an office administrator. Obviously the invoicing for B2B customers are really important. And here's just some stats that I wanted to share with you around the uplift. So since April, which is when the site went live, we've had 12,000 new registrations through the website. This consisted of 5,700 B2B customers and 6,300 B2C registration, which shows obviously it was required that we needed to open it up to B2C as well as B2B. This is an increase of 45% since the website went live. Now that we've got the new registration form in process, we've got better data collection, which means more insight, and we can personalise the experience more on the site as well.
So thank you, Catherine. So kind of in summary, really, some of the achievements. So we believe that RM's Consortium is a section leader. So we've kind of built the Adobe Commerce website with improved functionality, lots of UX, lots of design, so we're looking to achieve a standout competition in this sector. The key objective really was to put the customer first, and we feel that we've done that really in terms of the user journeys, the kind of the process flows, the ability for customers to kind of self-checkout really. So we've reduced calls into reducing calls into contact centers, reducing emails, so really at the forefront of the mind is putting the customer first. And full visibility really, so the RM's Consortium now has customers now have product availability, good delivery options, after-sales order information and financial data. So this is making for a much better and a more engaged customer experience. So these were the achievements that we set out to achieve and what we believe we've delivered on. And kind of for me really now the final kind of elements of today's kind of talk really is to talk about the key takeaways. So the key one for us really is always third-party alignment. So ideally, when possible, really look to install the third-party modules into the website at its earliest and kind of easiest convenience. My experience on the previous e-commerce platform builds and what we see on a day-to-day basis really is look to get the third-party aligned to reduce the bottlenecks as soon as possible. So that's a key step for us. Always try to use kind of default or core kind of e-commerce platforms for us, specifically around Adobe Commerce. So always look to use kind of key features. Don't put in too much custom code, only put in custom code as and when required. This just makes further updates, further upgrades so much easier. Install of modules, compatibility, so that's a crucial step. For this project as well, and I think a lot of the projects we always work on is the build phasing. So we're always looking to try to achieve an actual website as soon as possible, so the customer can add in content, product imagery, the navigation. Just what this really does, it kind of enables the teams who are working on these projects to understand the scope of this project. It then leads into kind of bringing the company on a journey. So when you have a website that you can start to see it taking shape, you find really that the business really buys into this project really. So we're looking to get key stakeholders involved, driving this process really, and everyone feels comfortable with what this website will be delivering, the uplift, the benefits really, and we find this is crucial on large transformation projects. And I think the final point we wanted to highlight, I think is, from working with RM's Consortium, what we often do with all of our retailers really is work as one team. So always communicate, understand issues, talk through issues, collaboration, and also bring in third parties and their teams at the right moments in time. And it's crucial really to share knowledge and encourage communication and openness. So thank you everyone for listening to today's talk. Hopefully got some time for some question and answers, but also if you have some questions, we're just behind the Pixel stand here as well. So please come through to say hello. But any questions now from the members of the audience? No questions. So thank you everyone for listening to today's talk. Like I said, we're just behind you over there, but thank you everyone for your time today. It's much appreciated. Thank you.